Good evening, and welcome to Tidewater Tomorrows of Hampton Roads. The Generic Theater. For 31 years, a Hampton Roads cultural pioneer as the area's only professional, offbeat, off-Broadway playhouse. But for the second time in 5 years, they are losing their home. And for this theater, it may be curtains. Many of you have heard last week's surprising news that Chrysler Hall will soon be no more, due to the new tolls on area tunnels, all the proceeds from which go to the state and the developers. The city expects to lose $33 billion a year in tax revenue and has sold Chrysler Hall to the MacArthur Mall. In 6 months, Chrysler Hall will be Chrysler Mall. We spoke to John Ramstein, the director of 6 venues, formerly 7 venues.
Yeah, this is kind of a no-brainer. I mean, going from 7 to 6 venues, our operating costs are going to go down 14%, and we get a shopping mall out of the deal. That's a win-win.
Where will the symphony play?
I don't foresee a problem. I mean, a lot of music and arts organizations perform in shopping malls. There's a food court. They can rent their tuxedos right there. You can't have a symphony play without tuxedos. I mean, that'd be ridiculous.
What about the Generic?
The Generic. What do they do now? Cabaret? I saw that stuff in college. Maybe more people would go see them if they wrote their own plays instead of doing other people's.
Isn't there another venue you could give them?
Yeah, I think YouTube would be a great venue for them. It's right in their price range.
Yes, but where can they perform now?
14%. I'm going to say 14%.
The local theater community has been rallying around this endangered institution.
Generic Theater. So long, it was good to know you. Cheers.
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 Who?
I mean, I really feel bad about it. I mean, I helped them get into the theater down under at Chrysler Hall. I just don't know how they screwed things up.
Wait, so the building that they moved to because their building was being redeveloped is now being redeveloped? That's a lot of redevelopment.
Someone ought to do something.
Well, someone else.
We don't have a space.
No space.
We need a space.
So if you know someone that has a space, I mean, you can email us at coretheaterensemble@gmail.com.
We should have a fundraiser.
I do. We should get together and do together forever.
For the
Plan B, Pushers Forever,
I love
redevelopment.
Here it is, right here. You saw it here first, Beth.
Oh, man, my heart really goes out to those guys. I mean, you know, we have a lot in common with them. The stage company started out there underneath Chrysler Hall about 35 years ago. We used it as a performance space. It's a painful thing to see a theater die. But maybe now they can go somewhere with more comfortable seats.
Yeah, they're pretty much the least child-friendly theater in the Hampton Roads area.
Half of their plays have the F word in them.
Yeah.
No, I'm glad to see them go.
Yeah, them.
Fuck 'em.
We were allowed unprecedented access, and you'll see the theater itself has responded with courage and resolve.
We've overcome this before, we can overcome it again. Nick has come up with a 3-point plan. Regroup. Relocate. Innovate.
What does that mean?
First, regroup. That means first we regroup and we stay calm. That means stay calm. Stay calm. Shut the f*** up. Now what did I say?
Stay calm.
What did I say?
Stay calm.
Second, relocate.
We actually have a basement theater here underneath the stage at the Wells, and it doesn't flood too much. In fact, it's where they did the first reading of A Secret Garden about 30 years ago before they workshopped it and it went to Broadway. But they said they weren't interested in it. Something about that was too mainstream. That's too fancy pants for us.
I offered the Generic Theater my basement under the condition I'd be allowed to direct the rest of the shows there for the rest of my life. They seem pretty receptive. They haven't gotten back to me yet, but I know they will.
We have a basement at the Little Theater of Norfolk, and we just had it fumigated. They're welcome to use it.
We're in the basement of Little Theater of Norfolk. It's not very wide, but it is really long. We could hang a backdrop all along this wall. We've got a light grid we could easily have right here. In fact, the Generic started out in a long, narrow room at Norfolk Center Theater. We could put concessions around the corner there and the lobby there, and We could probably make this work. Not sure where the audience would go. Third, innovate.
Innovate! You may know from Enron, we had a lot of projector technology that we were using. And so we found a way to repurpose that projector technology in order to project an audience into whatever space that we would find. And that way the actors can interact with an audience as if they were really there and put on a whole performance as if the audience was right there in front of them in 3D.
So, if the audience is being projected in from a remote location, how do they get to see the show?
Cut. Innovate means finding new funding sources.
Please, no. Please, no. Please, no. Please. All right. Really? No.
Fourth, excellate. When we excel at all we do, we will have achieved excellenceness. Fifth, synergy. Sixth, ingress-egress. Seventh, milk. 8, cotton swabs. 9, whole uncooked chicken. I'm sorry, this is the wrong list, but it still proves my point.
The Generic Theater has been a Norfolk landmark for 31 years, but like Lindsay Lohan, it appears they won't make it to 32. But you can help. Vote. Vote no on tolls and Hampton roads. Your vote... What? There's no vote? There's not even a referendum? That's bullshit. Shine down on me.
Generic was good while it lasted.
It was all right.